First of all, before I proceed, I would like to know what you know about city governance. If you thoroughly go through the newspaper, most of the report will be about city. Most of the report will be about city. If there is no report about city, you will have no news only. But actually, city governance is very simple. Very, very simple. But officials and our political class have made, both of them made, look very difficult, so that even a small thing for a common citizen, it looks very big. If you have any issue, you will panic to whom to go. That is the first thing what it comes into any citizen mind. If you have an electricity bill which is very abnormal, you don't know where to go. Or a water supply bill, if it is more than what you have expected, again you panic and that becomes a big project for you to get it rectified. Why I am telling you all this is, if all the youngsters, if they don't get it, because city is the place where you get a lot of people from outside, they want to come to the city to chase their dreams, to fulfill their whatever they have thought about to achieve in their life. And they settle here. Most of them, once they come to city, they don't go back. At the same time, government also has a problem providing infrastructure to the people who are coming. But city is the place where wealth is created. And this wealth, actually, if you see the Karnataka state government's budget, it is nearly 2.6 lakh crores. And in that 1.7 lakh crores, income is generated from the city. And to take care of our city, we have got 4 to 5 agencies. One is BBMP, one is BESCOM, one is BWSSB, one is BMTC, the other is BDA. BDA and BBMP, slightly confusion is there, I'll explain to you. And Slum Development Board. So these are the agencies which are involved in day-to-day needs of the citizens. Why I am telling you all this is, because in the theoretical part what you study and what I see with my 10 years experience, we have got a lot of resident welfare associations. Very few know their duties. Very few resident welfare associations know their duties. Most of the we can't blame them also, because when the voice is grouped, then only the officials listen to them. That is the criteria, that is the motive of most of the RWAs. There are some RWAs who go beyond that, who think about city, who think about planning the city, who question the budgeting of the city. So you people should not get into the other first part of the RWAs. You should be the voice of the citizens. And some of you who have taken up more, I saw a lot of more than 60 students in Azim Premji University who have taken public policy research as their career. I would like to see at least 10% coming into active politics from Azim Premji University. And in your NLSUA, there also students should come into active politics. Because with your knowledge and with practically experience the governance, you can make a lot of difference. Whoever enters this line at a very young age, they can definitely make a difference, and city requires it. City like us requires it. And have you gone through BBMP budget, corporation budgets? I think I would like to tell you also, because if you go through the budget, fairly you will come to know how the corporation performs, how the government performs, what are all the responsibilities of corporation, and if you find them lagging somewhere, how to question them, how the BWSSP budgeting is happening, how the BESCOM budget is happening, how the slum development board, for what purpose Bangalore city is having slum development, whether it is required or not. Because under BBMP also there is a welfare department. So there are a lot of conflicts. Common man is not aware of most of the things. So until I think 7-8 years back, there was no subject about public awareness of public research policy. Until 7-8 years back, there was no subject about it. So now you should question all those things. Why BDA is required when BBMP is there? BDA is only a wing of Country Town Planning Act. It is governed by central government. But BDA also takes up a lot of development works in BBMP area, whether it is required or not. Because it leads to a lot of corruption. The work what BDA takes up, corporation also takes up. So 2 times budgeting happens. These are all the things I've seen. And in one way, one division of the BDA or corporation does the work, but payment is done to. So these are all the conflicts. Even in slum development board, why I'm telling you all this is, you know how in your classes, how the percentage of fund is allocated to welfare? Are you aware of it? There was any classes for it? See, first thing in our constitution is, because all the developed countries in the world, their social security is of very, very high importance, because in our constitution, it is a welfare, because we are a developing nation. How it is budgeted, I'll tell you. See, if 100 rupees is the money what anybody earns, the BDA of Karnataka government or central government, in this, the first priority is for salaries. First priority is for government salaries. This might eat up to 20% of the total what we have earned. And next, if the government has taken loan from IMF or any banks, for that year, there will be some of the loan what we have taken as a principal we have to pay to the agencies with interest. This is the amount what is paid to the bank for principal and the interest. So the balance left is, if you see, the balance left is 73%, 73 rupees. In this, before we budget for any other work, for any development, before we budget for any development, in this, the percentage of population which is below poverty line, BPL. For example, we have got in Karnataka, it is calculated at 24.1%. In Karnataka, it is calculated at 24.1%. So 24.1% of this 73 rupees is taken out for welfare of them. So if you calculate, this will come to around 17 rupees. This huge amount goes for the welfare. Till today, after the 70 years of independence, till today, in this 17 rupees, only 55 paisa today, as of today, it reaches the beneficiary properly. So still there is 45% pilferage. Understood? There is a lot of chain links before actually the beneficiary gets his what actually he should get is 100 rupees, what is derived term, but he will get only 55 rupees. Today it has improved because of this digitization, linking the Aadhaar. Why I am telling you this is, these are the sectors, if it is addressed properly. Even in the 70 years, we have not addressed this properly. Until now also, for example, in Bangalore, we are having 1 crore 20 lakh population. In that, we are having 9 lakh BPL cards. 9 lakh. So if you calculate per BPL card, 4 citizens in 1 BPL card, a family of 4 will be represented by head of the family. So BPL card having 4 people, that is the thumb rule. If you multiply it to 9 lakhs, 36 lakhs are below poverty line. So this is the sum which has to reach them directly. In this, you can build houses to them. Houses in the sense, if they have a plot of 3 squares, okay, government gives 5 lakh rupees. Government gives per house 5 lakh rupees to build the house for them. It is given directly to them, not to any middleman or contractor. These are the schemes which became very popular now, which were not done earlier. Why I am telling you all this is, in your studies, this plays a major role. This welfare is there, no? If you go through the constitution or state budgeting or Bangalore BBMP budgeting, you will know this percentage. These two has to be minus them. Salaries, and the corporation has taken a lot of loans for 15 years, 20 years tenure. For that year, principal amount of that loan is earmarked and the interest is earmarked. Both you have to minus it. Whatever sum is left, on that 24.1% of that is taken out for welfare. This is the first thing what we do in budgeting. This is the first action is taken whenever we do any budgeting, state or city or wherever, any part of the country. This is our constitutional rule. And you will ask me, what will the central government do with their budgeting? In central government also, this 17% is equally divided among the states according to their population, what is recorded. So two ways state is benefited. With state budgeting also, this welfare fund is there. With the central budgeting also, this welfare fund. If this is reached properly, we will be the way the country is growing. If youngsters take this as a subject, if this is reached properly to the beneficiaries, I think 5 or 10 years we will come on par with developed countries. Because education loans are there. In this, government gives education loan. Housing is there. Housing is there. And as for skill development, they get equipments to put up a unit or factory in whichever field they are at highly subsidized interest rates. And if you see the countries which have developed in these 100 years, their strong foundation is on this. Their strong foundation is on this.
Why isn't the money reached to the beneficiaries? Is it because of corruption or management issues?
No, it's see, we didn't have, now everything is getting digitized, Aadhaar has come, so nobody can, we can't have middlemen in each stage now. And to the bank accounts, it's been RTGS digitally. Now it is better. Now it is better. If you take the earlier data, it was not more than 30% also. It was not more than 30% also. Now, since it is digitized, the beneficiaries, they have to know their benefits, what they are getting. They have to only get themselves registered. Now it is reaching properly. It is coming to that stage. But still, with respect to housing, with respect to vehicle loan, because vehicle loans are there where they can attach it to Ola or Uber, people who come under this. See, if the cost of the vehicle is about 6 to 7 lakhs, 15% subsidy is given by the government to the person who comes under this category. Once 15 or 17% benefits is given, that payment directly happens to the showroom or the manufacturer, government gives. And the rest of the amount, he is given the loan at highly subsidized rates. Again. So these are the things we have to educate the citizens who come under this category. And if they don't have a bank account, if they don't have Aadhaar, it's must and should they have to get themselves Aadhaar and bank accounts, because they get their benefits directly. Otherwise, in their name, there is still corruption happening.
So, do all the funds get used, or what happens to the funds if they don't get used?
No, see, they can, it's a beautiful question. But unfortunately, if the funds belonging to this category, if it is not utilized, even government has even Prime Minister has no power to use these funds for any other work. Any other work, these funds cannot be used. It has to be used for beneficiaries who are coming under this category. But on the books, all this while, it will be written that it's been used. Now it is changing. Now it is changing. See how you people have taken up public policy as a subject. Earlier, nobody used to take this. We could have seen this change earlier itself. So we know now that it's going to have a good change, because all youngsters, you will start questioning this. Once you start looking at the BBMP budget, state budget, and the central, you will come to know. Because why I started with this is, very high level misuse was happening here. Till now also, if any slum, by this time, actually speaking, we shouldn't have had any slums in Bangalore city or anywhere in the country. Because in these 70 years, these funds, if you check, it's been grossly misused. Slums would have been better than, it would have been better than any area if the money had gone there directly to them, or if it has been utilized properly. Everybody would have had a clean drinking water, good sanitation, hygienic areas would be there if it was spent properly.
What are some ways in which cities actually differ? What can cities use to do for us?
No, see, in this, our democratic setup, unless if you don't raise your voice, it will not be heard. And single voice or group of voice, those people who are actually the beneficiaries, they should be made aware of what they have to get. See what happens, for example, what I have seen, for example, you have got some 5 slums in your area, which is coming under BBMP. The conflict of interest, I'm telling you, 3, 4 ways you can swindle the money. One is, we have got slum board. In BBMP also, there is a welfare budgeting. That's why I was stressing. You go through the BBMP budget. BBMP also you are having a budget for welfare section. Slum board is also doing the same thing. Okay. For any one slum, they will budget saying that we will do a sanitation work. We'll bring Kaveri water, drinking water facility to them, and we'll install water filters at the entry and exit point of that slum, 2 places, and we'll build a small, whatever you say, a recreational or Kalyan Mandapa where they can do their functions without any cost, one small temple, and good houses for them. And same work is again tendered in corporation. System is not able to identify these two are one and the same. Understood? Now we have stopped data. What I saw, I am telling you earlier. So the officials, they play a major shameful role. They see to it that both the officials collude. They'll bring one common contractor who gets both the works. Understood? So in one place that work will happen. The other place that just bill is released without any work. Now it's been stopped. How long it has happened, I'm telling you. How long it has happened earlier. These are the areas, because the budget is very huge. If you see Karnataka government's budget for welfare, sir, it is 38,000 crores. How much? 38,000 crores. Till today, in city, we will come to know the transparency of this. Can you get the transparency of how they are allocating the funds to other parts of the state? No. Till today, it's not. You will not know. If you budget it, if you do any audit, you will come to know. Who will ask you, who will give you power to do audit? Because these are the areas where if anybody works deeply, youngsters like you, I'm telling you frankly, if you take up these subjects or any one district which is adjoining to Bangalore city, and if you see the welfare programming, if you make this as your motto and check it up, it can become a role model. How it has been used, whether the amount what they have spent, they have spent for the correct purpose, or only it's on the book. You can make a document on it. But you have to, can't do, one or two people can't do it. You have to take it as a good, what you say, practical subject like that you have to take and you have to do it. Because in what you study in theory and what you see practically, it's two different aspects. I think for you, these welfare classes have not happened, no? Have you started coding the constitution in your classes? Okay. Now, why I'm telling all this, for you, if you start doing it, you can take the budget of Bangalore city. No need to take a central government or there. If you start dissecting it, this is the area where you have to give real thought about it. Because this is the biggest parameter where we are on the verge of, we are still developing nation. We have not reached that stage of other, where this sector is addressed very neatly. Me continuing with it, irrespective of that, if you have any doubts about how the city performs, if you have any doubts, anything you can ask me. Anything.
Basic question. I live in the and let's say it's simple road work, but BWSSB's permission is required for something, ESCOM's permission is required. in BBMP actually does the review. Do you think that an entity on top of, I guess Slumboard also, but you mentioned the conflict, Slumboard, not conflict, but like conflict of interest between Slumboard and if there is like an all-pervasive city authority that has jurisdiction over water, electricity, everything, will that solve the problem? Or?
I'm telling you, if we can bring all the agency on one platform, and whatever work happens, it is a sign-off between all these agencies, then our dream of how the 1 rupee comes to city and how it is spent, each and every citizen will know about it. We are working on it. We'll work. You have asked the most relevant question. See how it is, how the things are happening now. See, when I created unique PID number, you know that? See, what Aadhaar is for human beings, the unique PID is for property. I only created it. Actually, the entire system was not knowing what I was doing. I had never told. Once I finished, just came and present. Otherwise, they wouldn't have allowed me.
But still, it's not implemented.
It is 60% it's been validated. And I was advised by a lot of people not to give it to make my own app and patent it, but I gave it to corporation. That time, the tax collection was only 500 crores. Today, by bringing this system, it has gone up to 3,500 crores. We could have reached more than 6,000 crores. They have not implemented to the level what it has to be. There will be a lot of reluctance because there are a lot of people who are preying on this. How it happens, I'll tell you. It's a common code. The question what you asked, I will generalize and I'll explain this. See, in city, let us forget you are a student of public policy, everything. You are working. You are having a family, you are working. Morning till evening, you and your husband, you go for work. You don't depend on the system for any reason. Because you pay taxes correctly, you want a good motorable road, good walkable footpath, and for children you require a playground when they want to go use the playground, a good park, good amount of tapped water, electricity, this only these things you are bothered. You pay the tax, and for that the corporation or the government are bound to give all these facilities. But what you are asking, motorable road, walkable footpath, good sanitation, good water supply. See, all these things, if you practically, it all comes on the road. Once you leave your house, it's on the road, all this infrastructure is there. Below the road, you have got sanitation line, water supply line, and motorable road, walkable footpath, electric lines are on the side of the road. So, I didn't get your name.
Yes.
What Shreyas asked, if all this, see, for one part of the work, BBMP is to be responsible. For other part of the work, BWSSB is responsible. The other part of the BESCOM is there. If we bring all these three on one umbrella, okay, the problem is solved. The problem is solved. Do you know when the tender happens to your road, the place where you are staying, in front of your road, when they allocate some fund for some work, you are not knowing about it. Only when they come for doing the work, you are coming to know some work is going to happen. Here what we are trying to do is, before any work happens in front of your road, the citizen should know what is the type of the work, what is the money utilized for that work. So you will decide whether it is required or not. Whether today in my road this work is required or not, or simply they are allocating this one, you will come to know. So to that level of transparency, we have created a document called road history. Okay, this is a mother document. In the road history, each and every road in Bangalore city, is measured. And we have again declassified these roads into 4 entities. One is arterial road, one is subarterial road, one is inter-ward roads and ward roads. Arterial roads are main roads, where the BMTC buses or which connects the city from outside. These are called arterial roads. And subarterial roads are inside the city residential areas. You have got commercial roads. Okay, these are called subarterial, which will lead to arterial roads. And inter-ward roads are the roads which connect more than one ward. Ward roads are which start in that ward and which ends in that ward. All these roads have been given unique ID number. Okay, and we have documented how many manholes are there in each road. What is the size of the footpath? What is the volume of the drain? All this has been done in 2014 itself. The system, even the road history was done by me only. No official has done this. For this, PID, it was awarded in New Delhi. Planning Commission had awarded this, and they had told this has to be used in all the urban local bodies throughout the country. And this project went to World Government, where 99 best cities in the world, they will showcase what they have done. It happened in 2012, Barcelona, Spain. All big cities, Shanghai, Boston, New York, everybody competed. For this work of BBMP, what Indian government had sent there, PID, under efficiency category, it was awarded #1 prize that time. But still we are struggling to bring it to 100% usage here. You know how they resist. There is nothing but the corruption, the corrupt officials, we are not able to push it. We have pushed up to 60% till today. We are not able to push it. That's the system what we have got now. If road history is there in place 100%, road history is there. Earlier, you know how the work had happened? Your Indranagar 80 feet road, you know how the work had happened? I only unearthed it. See, that is called some cross, correct? It's also called Timaya Raste, no? Major General K.S. Timaya Road, correct. See, earlier, when earlier how they used to work, now it's been changed because of our pressure. They used to say, contractors, same way as Slum Development Board, I told you, Indranagar main road, 80 feet road, which is having a length of more than a kilometer, they will allocate some fund, some 3 crores or 4 crores for asphalting and remodeling of drain. And within 6 months, again they will allocate the fund, saying that for Major General Timaya Raste. So system will not know both are one and the same. Understood? After 6 months, if the fund is allocated, the work is even new because it's only 6 months old. Nobody questions. Now we are given ID to it, road ID to it. If the road ID is must and should for any tendering, we have made it. By using this, it has the corruption has come down drastically, but it's happening. But I'm telling you, to some extent, we have cut it. But as you said, that is the main solution. where BWSSP, BESCOM, BDA, BBMP. They all work on the road only, no? As I told you now, they all work on the road only. There is no other place. Where will they work? Where are the funds going? You got it? See, if you take BWSSP funding, it's either to rectify or lay the new sanitation or water supply. It's coming under the road. For BESCOM, changing of transformers or increasing the capacity of transformer, building a substation or drawing a line, new line. It's on the side of the road. And BBMP is working on the footpath, train and the road. If there is no conflict of interest between these three, which they do it deliberately, okay, if this road history is adopted by them properly, what I know from these 10 years as a corporator, if you see, we have spent 1 lakh crore for development for Bangalore, because 10,000 crores is the budget per annum, 10 to 11,000. And BESCOM is there, BWSSP is there, Slum Board is there, BDA. If you put together, let us take 10,000 for infra work, rest all for maintenance, whatever it is. We are having in Bangalore city 13,500 kilometer road network, 13,500 kilometer road network is there in Bangalore city. Okay. If using this 1 lakh crore, we could have asphalted the road twice, entire Bangalore. It's a theoretical answer from me. Practically, I'm not talking. I'm not instigating also. But if we had managed it properly by using road history, we could have done this by using half of the amount. That's what I'm. Understood? Why the beginning of the starting only I told you why you have to think practically means because even I also was not aware of all these things. But I would like people like you to come into active politics only from Indiranagar. It's good. Because if youngsters come, the starting period will be a little tough for you. Then you will enjoy because the struggle, what you do, you can bring a lot of changes. You'll be very happy at the end of the day.
What do you think about this?
Sir, yesterday night I was talking to one of the most top IAS officer, sincere IAS officer. He was telling me, what you want to do, you don't tell your political bosses or anybody, because the system is very... See, what you said is, that's a SARS dream. If that happens, we'll have a beautiful Bangalore. Beautiful Bangalore. But we have to work for it. The people who are at the helm of affairs, they will not be delivered so easily. Public should come to know. That's why I was telling you, most of the RWAs, they work for their locality, their street. Understood? Their area, their locality, they will call the officials and fire them. Officials will, wherever RWAs are strong locally, they will take care of them very well, officials. But we want RWAs who are very strong, who can think about the city, who can voice about the city, who can question the government. These are the RWAs that will come from students like you. You have to become more, you have to question the government. It's not required for you to go to their office and you can tweet, you can whatever, and some places you can join together and question it. The areas where you are staying, you can, local BBMP offices will be there, joint committee, 8 zones are there. Any one zone you can take You can go and question them. How you are budgeting, how transparent it is. You can question them. It has to start. Actually, nobody is there to start. That's what. It has to start.
Sir, so a student wants to get into politics.
Yeah.
What do you suggest they do? Like now, if you say get into politics, there are so many things you can do, so many offices to visit.
Correct.
How do you join, and how do you find someone who is not corrupt, who can help you with?
No, you start getting to know about the budgeting.
Okay.
That is the main. When you start questioning the officials, you will have lot of people who want to question, they don't know how to question, or they'll be shy also. They will join you.
Okay.
Understood? They will start joining you. And once the big parties come to know that they will pull you, they will start. If you like their ideology, you can join. Otherwise, you can be independent. In Bangalore city, I don't think in days to come that will make any difference. That's how it is.
And these budgets are all available on the website?
Yeah, it's there. It is there.
Budgets for all these Bangalore boards?
Yeah. It is there. In BBMP, for example, you have got various. One is you have got engineers who work only for ward roads. Understood? There are 198 corporators. In that corporator area, there will be a lot of streets. It's called ward roads. For that ward roads, we'll have a lot of development funds. That is taken care in that 56%. And second is major roads. I told you arterial and subarterial road. A third is a town planning committee is there, where you want to build an house, a commercial complex or a tech park, whatever it is. You have to take a building plan approval. For that, one committee is there. That gives revenue back to the corporation.
Okay.
You building plan approval under, it's not an, corporation doesn't spend anything on it. For ward, major roads development, ward road development, apart from welfare, markets are there, and corporation school budgeting is there. Health budgeting, the garbage, one is garbage, lifting of garbage, and other is you have got primary health centers in 150 watts right now. There are totally 198 watts. We have got health centers in 148 watts. Still nearly 50 watts don't have health centers. They are building it. So these are the areas where the rest of the budget gets allocated according to the requirement.
This question. So, organizations which are talk about ward committees. Your honest view on whether they're actually useful.
See, ward committees is useful. I have conducted ward committees 100%. It's useful. It is required. But what has happened, Shreyas, again, what I'm telling you is this RWS and ward committees, you don't get the people who can think big about the city. Only for that, their areas they'll work. See, we want somebody who questions the system. See, we have got 1 crore 20 lakh citizens in Bangalore. At least in Bangalore, we should have minimum 1,000 good voices. Understood? Minimum 1,000 good voices. If they write in the newspaper, if they talk to government should listen to them. We want that sort of 1,000 people. The rest of the budgeting is normal, where it's been used for. There we have to bring in transparency. That transparency will only come using road history. You understood the road history. See, road history, every street in Bangalore has been mapped and given unique identification, like how I have given to property, I have given for roads also. I should not tell you, you use it, you will come to know how dynamic it is. See, in this, if the road history is used, the revenue increases by leaps and bounds to the corporation. And the expenditure, what they spend, will be cut by half, minimum by half. At least in BBMP, you will come to know some details. How many of you here know what is the BWSSB budget, whether they have spent properly? Even elected representatives like corporators also will not get the detail. Understood? The corruption is very high there. BWSSB and DESCOM, you can, where there is, see in our democratic setup, where there is an elected representative and an executive, there is a conflict of interest. If not today, tomorrow truth will come out. Where either of them are not there, the truth will never come out. In BESCOM and BWSSB, it's only officials. You will not come to know anything. So these are the things we are asking to the government. You merge it. As Sir was telling, all this BDA, BWSSB, BESCOM, they should all come under one umbrella. And all are working on side of the road or over the road or below the road. Budgeting should happen at one place. Understood?
They're rapidly expanding, and many of these areas are not part of any tech walls. So, how do you suggest getting the youth in these areas involved to be like part of policy plan?
See, Bengaluru, that's what I told you. Bengaluru is growing beyond its limits. If you see now, we are 800 square kilometers. Now, some areas it has crossed that also. The development has crossed down. And those areas are thinking we belong to Bengaluru. So they are demanding sanitation, water supply. And BBMP is not in a position to do budgeting for those areas. Some places they are doing. There what happens, government, whoever is the MLA, because corporators will not be in that area. They will be only within the... So MLA is directly budgeting in his developmental works. But BBMP at the same time, they are trying to, the villages which have been developed, where the habitation has started. BBMP is now, 3 years back, we are given power to mayor and the commissioner, the villages which are surrounding the BBMP limits. If the habitation is increased, you start budgeting it. What you say, for basic services like water supply, not asphalted roads, metling roads, drains. 1 year they might allocate for sanitation and water supply. The next year they will allocate for drains. And that way they have started it. And MLA, the local MLA, if you catch hold of them, he will also budget it. Funds are available. It's happening everywhere, but unfortunately, only 10 years back, the area of the BBMP limit was increased in 2008. Mostly in the next 5 years, it will be done. No. See, 8th cross, I'm telling because I represent that area. 8th cross, there is equally for making it only pedestrian movable road. They're saying you open only at the weekends, you make it pedestrian roads. So if in ward committee, if you come and everybody comes and voices their opinion, we'll record it for 3 consecutive meetings. And whichever is more, where the voices are more, we will go with it. See, why I'm telling you this is, when I entered, there was rampant corruption in tax system. People used to collect tax. They used to come to your house. If you own a house, they used to come to your house and give a receipt and take the tax. For that service, you used to give 100 or 200 rupees to the tax inspector. That receipt, what you used to take, 50% were duplicate. There was no mechanism all these years, whether the money used to go to corporation or not, nobody bothered. 50% were duplicate receipts. The guy who used to come home and under SAS scheme, citizens were allowed to declare their size of their plot, the constructed area, and the purpose of use. 80% was misused. They would have rented it out, they would have stated own use. The slab of property tax is less if you say own use, and the constructed area would have been more, they would have declared less. And there were more than 30-40% of the properties who were not paying tax only. So when I digitized this, it was a huge task. I'm just telling you easily, it was a very huge task. Then everybody became aware. And now I think still it's going on, but about 60 to 70% it's been cut. So there are a lot of things like this. The youngsters like you, if you start taking this as a profession, you can do it. Something might utter to you to better it wouldn't have uttered to us.
So what meetings, they have a schedule?
Yeah. First week of every month, first Saturday.
So is it a regular permanent venue for that?
Yeah.
What committee?
Ward committee.
We are not meeting.
You all attend ward committee in your wards where you are staying. Vasant Nagar. What committee in that ward committee you enter, no? You will come to know what is your ward budget, how it's been utilized.
So anyone can.
Anyone can come. If citizens come together, they are only the employees. See, I have that in mind. Politicians and officials politician is an elected representative. If he is not doing his work, you can get rid of him. You have to talk like that. Or an official, he is not doing any favor by giving you any whatever you ask. He is paid. He is paid salary to discharge impartial duties. Understood? See, what has happened in our citizens here is, we think these two entities they're untouchables. We should have their favor to get our work done. That you should remove it from it, because politician is elected by you, citizens, and the official, he is doing job, he is taking salary. He is not doing it freely. Your work, he should do it. Official, he is taking salary from the system. He is not doing anything favor to you. Don't have that in mindset. Once you have that, he will sense it immediately. Then he'll say, no, you come after 1 week, I'll give you all the details. That 1 week will never come. Why am I telling you all this is?
With regard to the temptation, what he said, I feel even if he is under temptation also, the commissioner can take action on him. On any.
No, only transfer him to the.
Apart from transfer,
No. That's what the amendment has not still happened. We are working under 74th Amendment.
any great regularities.
No, if C&R rules are improper, if corporation has their own employees, then commissioner can be suspended or he can be removed from the job. But since there is a shortage of staff, when we get from other departments, at the most he can be transferred back. And if you see my debates in corporation, it's worst. I have attacked commissioner n number of times. Why I am telling you this is, nobody should feel all are equals. Understood? Nobody should feel anything if you ask any question to the system. First, that thing you have to take it out. And you are the elite people who have taken this. Actually, this is one of the best lines. Public policy is there, no? If you thoroughly start going through it, you will enjoy that. And always, once you start getting into elected line, people will question your integrity. Understood? In front of you, they'll praise you. At back of you, they will question your integrity. That will be there. What may, you have to live with it. And once you start working, then things will fall into its places. You need not have to worry. You are at the most, you have to answer yourself. Understood? You will answer yourself whether what direction you are going. If that introspection is there, it's enough. You can carry on.
Maybe in the one corporate from one corporate maybe nominated from.
No. What happens? Whichever party is in power in corporation, we'll have 20 nominated corporators from the ruling party. That nominated corporators is like how you have MLCs here. Understood? MLCs are upper house where you will have intellectuals questioning the system. Same way, 20 corporators from ruling party, whichever party is ruling in the corporation, they can select 20 nominated corporators. So for example, some people in urban policy, some urban planners will be there, sanitation planners will be there. In specialized areas, they will select. But in that, nobody is doing it 100% practically. They are bringing their own. They'll sit with us, but they will not have any development budget. The elected corporator will have a development budget. He can debate, he can bring any good suggestions to the house, he can debate with that, he can budget for the city, not for any ward. UFW. 5 minutes I'll explain. See, unaccounted for water is there, no? I think most of them will not be knowing. Most of the corporators, even it was a system what we developed. It is not there in entire country. This. See, Bangalore is getting water supply from Kaveri. You know that. Earlier we used to get water supply from Tipgunalli and Esarghatta Lake. Here it was a gravitational flow, and Malleshwaram was the first constituency in entire Bangalore city. Malleshwaram is 120 years old. That's where you are. We have a GLR, that is called ground level reservoir, on 18th cross, 4th main end, where the water is collected and distributed. Now, of late, once the lakes habitation started increasing, there are a lot of lakes which got vanished. Now we are getting water from Kaveri region. Okay, on Kanapur Road, Kaveri water going towards Tamil Nadu. Before Mekadatu, the tapping is done and we get water supply from Mysore region. If you see Bangalore and Mysore, Bangalore is at 1,200 feet higher level than Mysore. Mysore is at this level. So every day, all the 1 crore citizens of Bangalore are drinking water from Mysore, which has been motorized. Electricity is used to pump the water to Bangalore. The water enters on Kanapur Road. Kanapur Road, it enters Bangalore city. There is a meter which has been fixed, which says, for example, if 100 liters is pumped, BWSSB is the agency which collects that water and distributes to Bangalore city. That is the functionality of the BWSSB with sanitation. So in 2011, when we check 11, 12, if 100 liters water comes to the city, BWSSB was billing for 35 liters. How much? 35 liters. So 65 liters was the pilferage, leakage and transmission loss. When we went deep, no, this is what, you should understand all this. See, we were fighting with water with Tamil Nadu. Government is making big issues with respect to building dam on Mekedatu, near Mekedatu for Kaveri water. So this was the 65% was unaccounted. 65%. By this time, when we started questioning the BWSSB system, they were saying some places they have tapped. We asked them, okay, if they have tapped also, at least 60-70% we should be accounting it. It's either, it's on the wrong, very wrong side. And no public was knowing about this, all these things. Then when we went deep into it, then we sat and gave him a pilot project, saying that in my ward, this ward, we have got PID 97% accurate here. Then I gave him an idea saying that we will superimpose that PID connections on the water meter. People who have legally taken the water meter, they have got the data. You give that. So when we did this, to our astonishment, because Malleshwaram is the most law-abiding area, this area, in the entire Bangalore. Here itself, we had 25% people drinking water without connections. They were reluctant to get into it because most of the places, public will start coming against the officials in this case. Then slowly, we built a mechanism where it became an international project, and Japanese bank JICA promoted this and funded this project, and the preliminary pilot project was done in this ward. Now it has spread in Bangalore, everywhere. And now the accountability has increased to more than 60%. We will reach there by another 2 years. We will reach more than 80% in another 2 years. And we took confidence of the people who had no water meter, saying that we will not penalize. Here afterwards, we will give you the regular water meter. Earlier, what wrong you have done, we are not going to penalize you. You take the water meter from here onwards. And now nobody can tamper in our areas. Because the L&T line they have put, if they tamper, there is a fall in the pressure. We'll come to know in our system immediately who is going to. That's been and that this project, what I explained, it has more or less, to some extent, water problem in the city we have solved. If you see in these 2-3 years, you will not see in TV or anywhere people running for water, taking their this thing. So more or less, it's getting solved. This is one of the best projects in the entire country, because without water and electricity, nobody can live a normal life. No, OFC, it's why I'm telling you this is, anybody can get into wrong side of business to earn. It's not a police inspector or a corporator or an engineer, or even corporates do that. I mean, for them, profits are what they talk about. So to some extent, we regularized the OFCs. Today, earlier OFC was not giving not even 1 crore income in 11-12. Today we are generating around 300 to 400 crores per annum by using road history. If the road history was utilized to the extent for what it was meant, we could have crossed more than 1,000 crores income. But unfortunately, we don't have that sort of corporators who can join and bring that voice together. It's very difficult.